Imagine stepping out of your favorite downtown Macon restaurant and seconds later floating down the street in your own personal solar-powered gondola. That might sound far-fetched, but as we told you last year, Macon-Bibb County is considering it.
More than a year later, you may ask, where are the gondolas and when can we expect them to zoom through town? Anthony Montalto went searching for answers.
Is it really happening or just wishful thinking straight out of a sci-fi movie?
We're going to turn cities into theme parks. It's just going to be a lot of fun.
For JPods co-founder Bill James, it's a bit of both, paired with years of scientific knowledge.
We grade separate to remove all the start-stops. Then we take it and we flip it upside down and we hang from it.
JPod's long-term goal, ending the nation's reliance on oil.
We use the deck over the top to deploy the solar collectors to gather the energy to power the networks.
Their short-term goal,
we have tried so many places.
Finding a city to say yes. Enter Macon.
Finding a government that will support innovation is a unicorn. And that's what Mayor Miller and the city of Macon are.
In January 2022, Mayor Lester Miller signed a memorandum of understanding with JPods and Georgia Mobility Company. That's a non-binding agreement laying out the JPods proposal. It became binding last May when the mayor signed a franchise agreement with JPods. That means Macon-Bibb has to allow the gondola project as long as JPods gets all the permission it needs from other agencies.
A lot of people thought it was just pie in the sky, and you know, to some extent it may be a wish list for the future.
When we first did this story, I stood right here and I showed you what I might look like doing this from the sky. And there's a reason for that. Because if this network does get built, well, the first stop is going to be at Atrium Health Navicent. Then it'll move on down 2nd Street, all the way down to the beautiful campus of Mercer University. Might sound like it's still a long way off, but co-founder Bill James says he hopes to start building a little sooner than you might think.
My hope is that we could get started on that this summer, that we could get building it.
The first hurdle, funding. James says they have some pretty big-name sources like Goldman Sachs. He and Miller both say Macon-Bibb won't pay a dime, and if it all goes right, the county won't make money.
We pay 5% of our gross transportation revenues, so we actually become a new revenue stream to the city and county.
The next step is agreeing when to start construction. While James hopes to start as soon as possible, Miller wants to pump the brakes a bit.
And we want to complete the mall project that we got going on, and we got a couple of things downtown that we're working on, and potentially the celebration of the new national park here in Macon-Bibb County.
He prefers to do more research before they make things official. Despite the binding agreement with JPods, the commission still needs to vote before construction can start. That's according to Mayor Miller and James.
We placed things on hold for a little bit. We want to do a little bit more exploration on the right-of-ways and things like that.
He's not ruling anything out just yet.
It's something we're always open to consider, as long as it's the right thing to do for our citizens of Macon-Bibb County, and we've got buy-in from everyone.
And James, still adamant, Macon is the place to build the transit system of the future.
You guys are an incredibly rare city to allow innovation. We're just really pleased to be part of the community.
Even though for now things look to be up in the air. In Macon, Anthony Montalto, 13 WMAC News.
Now, Bill James admits it'll cost a hefty amount to get started, about $20 million per mile of track. The first leg would be about 4 miles.
James says Macon would be the first city in their network, but other cities like Dallas, Texas are looking into it.